bad perception of what is half.
It looked pretty full.
That's why my wife gets a lot of stuff.
It's just a nightmare.
I have people skills.
Okay, but you're helping me with this.
Excuse me.
Oops.
It was just a nightmare.
It's just a nightmare. This is Help Desk Nightmares. This podcast takes a look at the interactions help desk and support techs have on a regular basis and the nightmares we encounter. Hey! Oh! Episode 88. Cody's here.
Hey, Mark. Wow.
Cody's here.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Dave's
for being
here.
Out the last 87
here.
episodes.
AJ's here.
I'm here.
Hey!
AJ is our special reoccurring guest. It's
Yep.
nice.
Guest starring AJ.
Should have like opening credits at the bottom, also starring, like
Yeah.
like an old 80s sitcom or something.
I'm
With
sad that you don't
AJ.
even put a little image of him up. Like, no one's just going to see. They're going to
Maybe
see
he doesn't
the
want his
AJ.
face on it. You don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be his face. You can put anything. Put a car up there.
I don't know
But
where I put the picture of Dave.
You're going to put the picture
Put
of
a
Dave
picture
in
of me
AJ's
as-
spot?
as
Yeah.
Might be insulting to him, but all right.
I doubt it.
Let's see. No, I can't find it.
Okay.
Pass. Can't find it. Can't find
Mark.
it.
Next.
What did you do this week?
What did I do? So we're still getting settled in at our new business location. It's
a lot of
less
fun.
mess in some ways and much more
Yeah.
mess in other ways. So that's fun.
It's looking great. I mean, the parts that we have control of are looking great.
Yeah, we're finally getting stuff cleaned up. As long as no one goes into the server room. It's
Oh
looking
gosh,
great.
that's a nightmare. That's gonna be a spend the night day.
There's just like,
Get that
yep,
straight
spend the night day. There's just a ton of cables everywhere. I don't know how we amassed so many cables, but there are so many more than we brought them all with us. We didn't buy any new ones, and there's so many more than what we were using before. So
It's because we used to have at the old place, we had a data and a voice Ethernet cable at every single spot. So
yeah, but we pulled the voice like 5 months ago.
you left the cables there though, and I definitely packed those up.
Doubt that.
I didn't
doubt
think
it.
I needed to, but
Yeah, you can tell when we were unpacking and getting people set up, you can tell which ones either Cody packed up or that we packed up at the end, at the very end, because
Yeah.
they're just like, some of them are just thrown in the box. They're not like
Sometimes
neatly
it's-
wrapped up
yeah.
and all tied nicely together.
it's hard to distinguish which ones I did and which ones we did at the very last moment. So
Yeah. It's hard to tell. I also saw It, Chapter 2.
Oh, is that good?
Chapter 2?
Yep.
Yeah. Just
It's
came
out?
out.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure is.
that
It was
dropped
very
fast.
good. I think it was very long. Surprisingly, it's in the book, but there's a super horrible gay bash scene at the start. And
Jesus.
so that was unexpected. I don't remember seeing the original movies that were so long ago, but that's what I saw. And I was not prepared for that. But then the rest of it was really good. So I would recommend it, and I would see it again.
Did you see the first one?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure did.
I thought maybe you were insane and just like went to the sequel.
Yeah,
Without
I
seeing the
only saw
first.
the second one. Bill Hader was in it. I like Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise, so he does a good job.
Yeah, he's cool.
So that's what I did. What'd you do? Code?
What did I do? I went to a wedding in Ohio.
Gross.
Bum, bum, bum.
No.
But that did mean that I got Friday off, which was pretty cool. So drove to Ohio, I went to a wedding, and then I came back, and now I'm at work
Excellent.
at this very moment.
Super.
No, we can see that you're at your house, so
Duper.
there's no reason to lie about that.
Don't tell the listeners.
AJ, what did you do? Anything fun?
No.
Work? Just work?
I said I was going to try to listen to more technology podcasts so I would have something to contribute.
Oh, yeah. AJ's Corner is coming up soon.
Oh, nice.
I don't think anytime soon.
Is it like, are we set on AJ's corner? Can it be like AJ's Nook or AJ's Cubby?
Nook.
I like Cubby.
How about special time with AJ?
Yeah. That sounds really good.
That sounds like it might be overpromising.
And then you put your picture of me up there. It'll really confuse the hell out of everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone starts thinking, Dave, you are AJ.
They'll be like, I've seen that guy twice.
You
I
are.
was talking.
Dave, what did you do? Anything fun?
Signed my son up for a bunch of college tours because that's coming up for him soon. So we're going to be going to BU. I can't remember which one in Manhattan, one in the city, and then a
What
third
is
one,
BU?
Boston University.
Oh.
At first, I thought you were saying BYU, and I was like, oh, Mormons.
I don't know what that is either. Again, over my
Brigham
head.
Young University?
Yeah.
Mormons?
Just BU. So we're going to be going there in a few weeks, and we got the one in the city we're going to go to, and we'll try to make them little tiny trips. We'll go there for the tour, and we'll do something else while we're there in those locations. So
Mini
that
break
and
days.
Daisy. So
Daisy. Austin said he started
Ooh.
playing that. Or
Oh,
he said
yeah?
he was going to give it another shot.
Yeah,
Cool.
I saw in Discord he put that he was downloading it, so that was
Nice.
pretty darn cool.
I said Dave will be so proud.
I'm very proud.
He has really fast internet too.
Is he in the chat? I'm gonna tell him how proud I am. No, he's not. Okay.
It's okay. He'll hear this at some point if he decides to listen.
Yeah.
We may have scared him off though.
Maybe.
You think?
Like, didn't he drop from Patreon?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, that would be really sad. Like he missed us for one episode and he was like, "See ya."
Who could say?
Who knows?
Hard to say. Hard to say. Let's see. Hopefully our Twitch stream is doing better this week than it was doing before. Last week it was having
it's doing
trouble.
I think it's when you have multiple video streams coming
Multiple
in, your computer
HD
just
streams.
dies. Yeah, but I'm watching a Twitch stream. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks fun.
There's even a like a buff
The Avatar,
Bald
AJ
man?
Avatar.
with sunglasses.
He's not listening.
Like, does AJ have sunglasses?
No,
Right.
I don't.
On
There's
right now?
regular glasses like all you fools who don't have good vision.
Oh, you
Terrible
got
vision.
us. You're not gonna have good vision anymore since you stabbed
burn.
yourself in the eye.
How is your eye doing anyway?
My eye seems okay. I can still see as good as I ever have been able to see. So, who knows? I'm not afraid anymore to itch it like I was for the first couple of days.
Oh hell yeah!
So now I'm itching it just like normal. I noticed that I did that in like my sort of waking up time, and it was not a problem. So no big deal.
Nice.
I have not stabbed myself with any other tools recently.
great.
So that's
Congratulations.
good.
I think.
Real good.
Something to
Let's
be
see.
proud of. You're succeeding at basic
Yeah.
life skills.
You're
It looks
killing
like we still have Fake came in, but it says Cody T on there. Psh,
Yes, it's
I'm not
fake-
changing the outro.
Oh, wait. Does it actually? Hold on.
It says Cody T on my Patreon.
Good.
Austin Hanakna, who was on last week. AJ
Who are
and
these people?
the other guy who's only a $1, so he doesn't get his name again. But he's on the network. They still
Wait.
love to say Cody K. Oh, so Drunken Argonauts, the last episode that I listened to, I get to listen to the third one because I got to be prepared. I'm going to be on Drunken Argonauts this weekend when I go to Idaho. So I have to
Nice.
know what happens. And they, for the first, 12 minutes of episode 2 of chapter 10, which I listened to on Patreon because it comes out early. You should listen to it, Cody, if you still listen to that. They were only recording Clancy's mic.
Oh,
So you could hear everybody else very slightly in the background. It's very quiet all through his microphone, and you could hear him real loud. And then eventually came and noticed it and was like, "Oh, sorry guys, we've only been recording one microphone this whole time."
oh my gosh. That's so sad. I mean, it happens.
Yeah,
but
that's-
they've been doing podcasting longer than us, so they should know their ish.
Barely, a few episodes longer than us.
Yeah, that's true. Are you gonna be doing a voice for your character?
I don't know. I can't remember now. I can't find it. I keep trying to Google it. There was definitely, I don't know if it was David Allen Greer. It was somebody who did a character on one of the late shows or something, and he said his name was Amferny, and people kept calling him Anthony, and he was irritated, and he kept telling him it's Amferny. So that's what my name's going to be. I don't know anything else about D&D, but I already picked a name.
That's incredible. I'm excited for the voice that you do because
don't
you
know if
don't
I'm
really
gonna do a
change your
voice.
voice often, if at all.
I'm going to try to sound like you.
Do
Ooh.
it. Hello, my name's Cody.
You like that? Naughty. Got a
Before every
blast.
battle, you gotta say, either fire, there's a fire, or you're so funny.
Yeah.
Fire! There's a
Yeah, and then then you know what Mark's gonna do? He's gonna be like, real quick before we get into this, shout out to Cody K. He's a really big supporter of this podcast. That's it.
Yep. Cody K.
Mhm.
So I'll do the Patreon thing. I haven't looked in a really long time to see how many downloads we get. Maybe it's 0 now. Who knows?
4.
Or 2.
Oh, I used all of my data up in the past
Downloading.
week because I didn't realize that.
All of your gigabits of data.
Yeah, it was really bad. Realizing Pocket Cast, the audio on there is such high quality that I used 2 gigabytes of data in like 12 episodes of streaming. I was like, that doesn't seem right. Audio's really low quality, but apparently the
They're
Harry
big
Potter
files.
one, he must upload it at some really high bit rate, and my data's gone, so I have dial-up speeds on my cell phone now.
Damn.
Yeah, we still get a couple hundred downloads a week, so that's fine.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Super cool.
Okay.
The last 30 days. Update.
I hear
Yeah.
a door creaking.
800 downloads in the last 30 days. Anyway, there you go.
Whose house did it sit in?
Oh, okay. Be our patron if you want.
Whose
But-
house was it in? It wasn't in either of your houses?
What's that?
The door creaking.
House Baratheon.
I don't think so.
I definitely thought
Oh.
it was in your house.
Me?
It's actually mine.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, no, I
okay.
thought it was in Mark and AJ's house.
With the noise
It
from
shouldn't be in
headphones.
our
But that wouldn't make
Oh,
sense.
he's so
Well, I guess
funny.
it could make sense. Matthew could be there,
Ready
but-
to brew.
Okay.
I just heard it through my headphones, so it sounded like it was coming from you guys. I don't hear the noise. I don't really hear the noise in the room. My wife could walk up behind me and hit me with something I wouldn't know.
Cody,
Do you have
Apple
your... Oh, okay.
Apple's new iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro have a new U1 chip that lets you do this. It's very broad. It has something to do with file sharing.
Oh. Well, thank you for that hint. It does not help, but I appreciate the hint. It
Mhm.
allows you to share files more quickly.
No.
Directional airdrop. Basically, you can point your phone at a device to share
What?
files via airdrop.
That's so silly. It's like a remote control.
Yep, yesterday the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals told this company they probably couldn't tell an analytics company to stop pulling profiles from its platform. What company was this? It's a big
Facebook?
social media company.
Is it Facebook?
No.
LinkedIn, the data analytics company,
What?
was, quote, scraping. The data that the analytics company was scraping was available to anyone with a web browser.
How many questions do I have today?
Wow.
One more. Firefox is
Check.
bringing back the Firefox Test Pilot program. What is the first new project in the program?
Autonomous vehicles.
No.
Firefox Private Network VPN service.
Ooh.
Wow, this is rough. I really need to start doing some research.
It's a bloodbath.
Ready to brew.
Dave,
Yes.
this company has a
Suck.
security flaw in the way it handles posts on accounts that are private. A series of mouse clicks on any web browser can expose the persistent URL of private posts and stories cached on servers. What is the company?
Instagram.
What?
There's stories, and the only thing
Yeah.
only social
Snapchat
platform
does
that I know
stories
uses
too.
that is- Does it? I
Facebook
never
does stories too. New York City Mayor and 2020 presidential hopeful Bill de Blasio wants a tax on this technology. What is it?
Taking the music. I have no idea.
No.
Wi-Fi? I don't know.
No.
Robots.
Oh.
His goal is to curb automation and protect workers with a new agency called the Federal Automation and Worker Protection Agency. He will not be
Just
elected
kills
president.
all robots. This is how iRobot's gonna start.
Yeah,
McDonald's
they're gonna get mad. Good.
acquired a new company to bring voice technology to drive-throughs. What is the name of this company? This is the harder one for you.
Hmm.
I have an idea.
I have no clue.
No.
Cody?
Polycom?
No.
I don't know how it's pronounced. It looks like Apprente.
Oh, come on, Mark.
Apprente is what it looks like. This creates voice-activated drive-thrus that will offer, quote, faster, simpler, and more accurate order taking.
I heard they were gonna be doing that soon. Yeah, I didn't know the name of the company though.
Ready to brew.
Oh, never mind. We already moved on.
AJ.
Two brothers just raised $15 million for their startup, Dutchie, a kind of Shopify for what industry?
Oh. Shoes.
No.
Cannabis dispensaries.
Oh.
Apple introduces the Apple Watch Series 5 that I want, whose battery should still last 18 hours and really only has this one new main feature, it appears. What is it?
It's like got one new feature?
From what I read and what was in this article.
Getting that watch.
You're getting a 4 for your birthday.
It's impressive that it's 18 hours with this feature, though.
Oh. I can't guess. I don't know.
No.
Always on display.
Oh.
I hate that.
The iPhone 11 will come in 2 new colors. What are they?
Chartreuse?
No.
I definitely thought you were gonna get that right because that sounds like a really cool Apple color.
Mayonnaise.
No.
Green
Oh,
and
yes.
purple. Green and purple.
Mayonnaise would be
Those
all
are odd colors.
Right?
Those are the Joker.
I don't want a green or a purple
Oh.
phone.
Would you? I would want a mayonnaise colored phone though.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. So before we proceed,
Sure.
does anyone here enjoy the big old screens at fast food restaurants where you don't have to talk to people for ordering as much as I
No.
do?
I don't go to fast food restaurants.
What the heck, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
There's 3 people here that I can say that to. Okay,
No.
continue then.
Do you enjoy that?
I love them.
That sounds nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I
sounds
know older people that really dislike them, but I think they're great.
Well, great. Nobody should be eating at fast food restaurants.
Which
I
fast
really
food
don't,
restaurants?
so it's hard to. I hate fast food. Mostly.
McDonald's? Are you talking about McDonald's? Who has it?
Taco Bell.
Ew.
Is when was the last time you guys had Taco Bell though?
Besides Cody, apparently.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Not yesterday.
It's been years for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been years
Yeah,
for me and
me
Mark
too.
too. What if we're all wrong?
No, Taco Bell's
Well,
gross.
Everybody at work tries to tell me I'm wrong, but I will not listen.
I-
Like no, because I mean my whole thing is like there's a Taco Bell over there, but like half a mile in the other direction there's like a fresh Mexican place. Why would I bother
Yeah.
going to Taco?
Yeah.
Because Taco Bell, I can go in there with $3 and get filled up. That's the difference. I may not know what I'm filling myself up with.
And you're only full for a
Products.
little while.
Yeah.
Until it all-
These
until it
their,
goes away.
their dollar menu is supreme. Okay. They put so many fillers in there that I'm good for at least 16 minutes.
Does the meat that they get, does the box still say on the outside grade D but edible?
I
Remember that? That was in the
I-
news.
don't remember that.
There was
but-
a guy that worked there that took a picture of the box that said grade D but edible meat or whatever, and he got fired and everything. I think it was on Twitter or something like that. It was
Yeah,
a
I'm
bunch
confident
of years
it's grade D or grade E, but it's okay because it's only $1.
ago. D for everyone.
Yeah, you gotta you get what you pay for. So not Yahoo Answers. Reddit user Scheisse Poster.
Wow.
Right.
Is that a swear?
I don't know.
Scheisse.
I'm a supervisor at my company. You guys can guess what the theme is. And one day things were running as normal when it was discovered the audio in our briefing room wasn't working. We've done an audio one before. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's a simple setup, some external speakers, a large television hooked up to a PC. Our tech was losing his mind trying to figure out why there was no sound playing whilst he was trying to give a presentation. He radios me and I come have a look. They have radios? Weird. I think we're going to have to escalate this. I've tried reinstalling the drivers, restarting the machine, and even sacrificed a goat to the machine, and I still can't get any sound. I unhooked the speakers, tested them on another machine, and they worked fine. I'll have a look, make sure your radio is on. So I take a look, and sure enough, off to the side, in the right-hand corner, the sound was muted. I turned the sound back on and radioed my tech back. So to be clear, if you're stumped and I solved it in 3 seconds, you owe me lunch, right?
Can we get walkie-talkies for our office?
We don't need them.
Like
office is
little,
not
like
that big.
Transformers or SpongeBob themed walkie-talkies.
That would be
you,
pretty
You and
cool,
I can carry one, and then team members can reach out to us that way.
That would be pretty cool.
Here's another classic situation by world famous Wiz, who writes, all of our customers have one of 2 models of VoIP phones, but this particular customer decided to be fancy and get one we've never heard of. so I'm not 100% familiar with it. This person said, "Hey user, what can I help you with today? When owner gets a phone call, his phone doesn't ring. The phone lights up, everything works, we receive and make calls fine, but it doesn't ring. Did you try the mute button? I assume that button mutes the mic, but I could be wrong. Please try it." Yes, I tried that, and it does mute the mic. "Well, I have one of those phones here. Let me hook it up, play with it, and I'll call you back." After 20 minutes of browsing the manual and playing around with it, I decided to call her back with a question I should have asked in the first place. "Hey user, did you try increasing the volume? It worked. Thanks."
The theme is take off mute.
Yeah. It is.
That's the episode name. Take off mute.
Please unmute. Please unmute.
Cody, don't we have problems like this at our work?
Yeah, I thought you were reading a story from our office there because I just dealt with something not even close to being similar. It's just someone's phone wasn't ringing. But, yeah, that could have ended poorly.
We do have, so people are not used to their, like having anything, their phones having anything to do with, Cody's drinking a whole bottle right
I
now.
love that.
Having anything to
Just
do
a
with the
giant
computer. Like the old system that we had, you could do stuff on the computer, but it didn't actually, you still were using a desk phone. It didn't have really anything to do with volume or the call or anything. You can make calls from your desktop, but it always was connected to a physical phone. Everything now for almost all the users is their computer through a USB headset. So people don't check things like whether the sound is muted. Maybe they don't want to hear everything that happens on the desktop, so they mute it, and then they can't hear their phone. They're like, I can't hear anybody. They can hear me, but I can't hear them. And almost always without fail, they've muted the sound on their computer.
I think worse than that is the ones that are actually technically savvy enough to do this. They will, so when the phone it rings through the default device, which is usually going to be the headset. Some team members have found a way to change it to their desktop computers. So when they forget to change their status after hours, their phone is just ringing off the hook nonstop. It's ringing on their PC. I would much prefer to deal with people not knowing how to do it than working with people who know just enough to break things and make it really difficult for everyone else.
Oh yeah.
Any other muted
Yeah.
muted
was
stories?
definitely-
Stories about mute? Cody? Dave? AJ?
Trying to think. So when we were going through the training for our phone system, we had to do a lot of like Zoom meetings or video conferences, and Mark and I would both mute ourselves. There would be a number of times though where I would mute myself and forget I'm muted and talk and just think Mark and the presenter were just ignoring me. So
On our phone system at work, there's it's not exactly mute, but if you pick up the speakerphone to talk to somebody, unless you manually turn your mic on, they will not hear you. So
wow.
I'll call somebody, I'll see it answer, and I'll be going, "Hey, it's Dave from IT. How's it going?" And I hear nothing, and I'm like, "Hit your mic button." And then then I hear it click on. "Oh, can you? I'm here now." Okay.
We
So
have
it's
some
sorta
regular.
like
Yep.
that. It's
We have
sorta like-
users, our two receptionists, so they handle the majority of the calls coming in and going into the firm, and they route them out. And they're learning the system well enough and learning which team members frequently mute themselves. So I will occasionally hear them being like, "Hey, can you hear me? Can you turn up your volume? I have a feeling you just you did something like that, or is your headset plugged in?" They'll actually try to help the people, which is really nice of them.
Yeah,
I suppose.
that's nice.
You suppose.
So nice.
Yeah, Mark's preference is just let IT deal with it.
Yeah, and by that I mean only Cody.
Yeah, no, we've been doing well. Things have been still going well.
Very
That's
General.
Positive affirmations.
That's general.
very, very gentle.
Yeah. I don't know of any other mute situations.
Nothing that comes to mind, not really.
The other thing that's related to audio but not muting is when AJ's brother told us that he would sit on the train or the bus and he'd be listening to his podcast with his headphones in.
Oh yeah.
And he'd be like, he'd just turn it up because he's like, it sounds like, are these headphones broken? Something's not working right. I can't hear it very well. And then turns out his headphones aren't plugged in or the Bluetooth's not connected to the phone and it's just playing out loud on the public transportation. Before I had the AirPods, I was always afraid of that because it's a real possibility even with the Android phone and whatever other kind of Bluetooth headphones. It'll say the Chinese ones that we have will be like connected, and then I'll push play, and it'll only play through the phone. It's not connected, and then I have to manually connect it. But the AirPods don't do that, so never had an issue with AirPods.
A while back
This
when I was
episode brought to you by AirPods.
Yeah, AirPods apparently are
AirPods.com.
They're really good. But when I was going to the gym a while back, there was a Peloton. They're like that bike with the big old TV on it at the gym, which is really cool. I've never used it. I'm never going to use it because it seems terrifying. But I remember being behind someone on just a normal bike, and they were like rocking out, doing their standing things, which I assume is a lot like what you do at your little spin classes. And they accidentally slipped and ripped out their cord from the thing. So it just started blaring their thing like, get up, you can do this. This is blah, 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 blah. And they couldn't figure out where to plug it in because they were freaking out because it was so loud. So they quickly plugged it back in and got it.
But so entertaining.
Yeah.
And
I'm really glad that it was just like the Peloton thing and nothing incredibly awkward.
It's just shouting racial slurs.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. They went into the derogatory training session.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a derogatory term earlier today to Lori by accident.
Oh no.
So like usually when we're like my wife really, really lame, but like we'll do cute talk back and forth. So on my way home from work, I asked her, hey, what do you want for dinner and stuff? And I usually like end a word with a weird ending just to make it sound silly and blah blah. So anyways, I was like, we got this, we got that. And I meant to say sloppy joes.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
And it came out as sloppy Jews.
Oh no.
No.
Straight up,
Oh, no.
I was like, yeah, so we also have the sloppy Jews because I put like a little lift on it at the end, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. As I was saying it, my mind was saying stop, and my mouth was like, do it.
Say it.
So my mouth has more power than my brain, and I said that, and I apologized a lot
to America.
Yeah.
I say we change the episode to be Jews.
Oh, that was
Breaking news.
You never stop.
Break.
Pre-recorded audio for me when I'm talking. You must be special, Dave.
I think I might be.
What year, September 10th of what year, did the first internet search engine launch? The first internet search engine, Archie, is launched in September 10th of this year. It was used to index FTP archives to make finding files easier. However, as the tech for the World Wide Web was not invented until later in the year, it was not the first web search engine. What year? Cody?
1987. That seems way
AJ?
too early.
What year was the internet invented?
Ask Al Gore.
Yeah.
60s, right? Technically the 60s.
I honestly do not remember.
I mean, it wasn't worldwide necessarily, but 60s and 70s, I think, is when the internet first.
Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna say 1975.
Dave?
It's weird. The first number that popped in my head was 1995.
Okay,
that-
is that your final answer?
Yeah, why not? What the hell?
Yes.
So close, yet such a nerd.
Cody, what year did you say again? 87?
87.
The correct answer is 1990.
Whoa.
Hey
Ooh.
yo,
Right in between.
winner.
So not a World
I don't know
Wide
why.
Web search engine, but it was an internet search engine.
Yep.
But the same year, 1990, was the first World Wide Web search engine. So there you go.
Breaking news. Breaking.
Oh my!
Breaking news.
Am I having a seizure?
Yeah.
Cody remix. It's the remix. That's all. it is.
Yeah.
We've done this one before too, Cody. Maybe you remember. You
Nope.
might all get this. If you all get it, you get a point. September 7th of what year was the iPod Nano introduced? Effectively replacing the iPod Mini, the move surprised many in the industry as the iPod Mini was extremely popular. However, the use of flash storage instead of a hard drive allowed for a much smaller form factor, increased reliability, and better battery life. These improvements proved extremely popular with consumers, as 1 million units were sold in the first 17 days. The pioneering use of flash storage in a consumer electronic device paved the way for its use in many future Apple product designs, such as the iPhone, iPad, and flash storage-based MacBook. September 7th of what year was the iPod Nano introduced?
1960. I'll let someone else.
I'm going to say, I think I went last time, so I'm going to say Nano, Jesus.
See, Mark, we all forget.
2003.
But you were all alive, so. AJ?
2000.
Like that.
Oh gosh, 2005.
Cody?
Very close.
2004.
That's right.
AJ guessed the correct year, 2005. Hey!
100 meaningless points.
Dead on.
Dead.
There's a cash prize, right?
Yahoo!
Here's some Yahoo answer questions.
Here's some Yahoo answers.
User Elliot the Corgi asks, is there a phone app that can show dead people around you?
Wow. My guess is what they mean is where people have died nearby.
Cemeteries, maybe? Or
Oh, yeah,
Incredibly
maybe.
Weird.
Cemeterylocator.com.
I have tried. This is gonna sound super lame, but I tried to make that website.
Gravespotter.com.
I swear.
Wait, you tried to make a website for finding dead people?
No, it was called Place of History, and it was gonna be a website where you put like events, like people dying, and exactly where they took place. So like you can go onto your map and see every cool thing that's ever happened, including, if you wanted to, people dying.
I could see people being.
Needless to say, I bought the domain and never did anything else.
Huh.
Sounds about right, Mark, right?
Yep. That sounds about right.
You were so
Story of my life.
naughty.
Thanks. Had to compliment this
Cody.
out.
Taco's mad because he's upstairs by himself. He's barking now, his little bark. So like,
Did
whoa.
Taco hang out downstairs when you guys are doing this?
He will not come to the basement. He refuses.
Oh, I
He
forgot.
hates
You
it.
have to carry him, and
Yeah.
he's like a chunk. So
And
He
he's
could
not
be on
safe
your
around
podcast.
electronics.
Yeah. He's not safe around electronics, and he could be on Cody's Chubby People Eating Cheese. He loves cheese. Yahoo Answers user Phoebe Patterson asks, I found a iPhone at school. Can I keep it?
No. That's what I'm
No.
saying. No.
I mean,
You can, but
so-
it's unethical.
person who found my dad's tablet in his car still hasn't returned it. So maybe you could.
If it was an iPad, you could brick that shit, and they can never use it again.
Yeah.
So unless they, oh no, actually, is it by serial number? Because what they did was they reset the tablet. So obviously,
Android tablet.
yeah.
There you go. Open source. Hey.
Oh.
Yahoo
Oh,
Answers. Oh yeah, so basically, don't keep it. You can, but you're a dick. And
Yeah,
they'll
don't do
probably just lock it, brick it for you, so you can't use it. Yahoo Answers user Anonymous, who will call Legolas. We've already used that one. Laminate asks,
Laminate. Oh,
would
I
it be
like
rude to sell my phone? My sister sold me her phone for a good deal. It's an Android phone, which I really miss my iPhone and want to sell this to get another iPhone. Would it be rude to sell this phone since my sister sold it to me for a lot less than she was going to sell it for to someone else?
Absolutely. That would be like me selling the phone that you gifted to Lori. Like, that
Oh,
would
the
be really.
Pixel, whatever, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'd
That would
get
be
much for it
really
because we're up to 4 now. But anyway,
You're up to. Oh, Pixel 4.
yeah.
I don't think it'd be rude.
I think it would be very rude.
Just don't
Yeah,
tell your
it's like-
sister.
Like if you convince someone, like a family member, like, listen, I'm really hard up for cash. I really need this phone. Can you please do it? I know you want 1,000, but I'm gonna give you $50 for it. I'd be like, okay, brother, I love you. And then they're like,
You wouldn't just give your
Only
brother a
1,000.
phone. I would just give it. I wouldn't sell it for cheaper.
Yeah.
That's when you can
right.
feel bad if someone gave you a phone and you sold it for a profit just to be bad. But I don't think there's a problem. She probably feels bad. That's why she's anonymous. That's why this person is asking that they feel bad. So if you feel bad, don't do it. Yahoo Answers user anonymous will call Glickman asks, do computer servers include operating systems?
If you put one
Not
on,
always.
yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
always come with them, but
Yeah, usually you'll have to buy it separately, especially if it's
Yeah.
like Windows.
Yeah, that's
because
the same
licensing
with
is different for servers. You pay for server cores for Windows Server. I guess I don't know
it's
how Linux
awful.
distributions work for servers. But it usually just doesn't come with it. And you also, for Windows Server, you're going to want to use a Hyper-V anyway, so you got to deal with all that stuff. It's not
Yeah,
the
back
same
in
as
the
a
day-
desktop as a host operating system.
Well, I mean, even in that event, though, what I was going to say is like back in the day when everyone's like, "Oh, you should build your own computer," you always had to consider the cost of the operating system, which, unless you were going to pirate it, it was going to cost you $100.
Which you could
easily.
do back then.
Yeah, you could. You still can, I think. I
Sort
feel
of.
like there are also
As long
ways
as you
to
don't connect
buy
to the
operating
internet.
systems. Yeah, true. That's very
Ooh.
valid. Or you just go and it's probably more expensive to go and get a edu email address from a public or a
Yeah.
college nearby, and then get like the $10 version.
On a couple of computers recently, I had Windows 7. They had Windows 10 was free for a while. The upgrade.
Yeah.
And then that stopped. But I found through Microsoft, there's a website that says like if you need the Windows 10 upgrade because of some handicap or something like that, just click here and you get it for free. And I downloaded that executable and it's worked like 100 times.
Yeah, I've done that.
Gosh.
Oh, it's great.
Don't you feel guilty?
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
Yahoo Answers user FM_Aqua asks, which Android phone is best in terms of value?
That's a tough one.
My preference, though I don't own one, would be a OnePlus phone. I feel like they're cheap,
Yeah.
they're affordable, and they're really high quality.
Portable? Is that what you said?
Portable.
Cheap and affordable.
Oh, affordable.
What did you think I said?
Portable.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's portable. You can make wireless call. Like you can call from your phone, from your car.
You could take it anywhere, basically.
Wireless email too.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
No wires.
They
no
do
wires
make-
at all.
Remember watching a video a few years back? They have like super cheap phones, not a value, but you can get an Android phone these days for $5 or $10. I
Ugh.
assume they're filled with malware that's just like taking all of your data.
So
Yeah.
no storage, a low quality screen.
Yeah.
You really just need a basic phone, like
Yeah.
like
Jitterbug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There you go.
Has anyone here ever had an issue with their phone filling up on have they run out of space yet, or anyone here? Because I've
Not recently. I don't ever
Not
get like
recently.
I don't know if they make them on like higher end phones anymore, but I never get lower than like 128 gigs. But
Yeah, which
they used to be you could buy like a 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabyte phone,
Mhm.
and then you can't have anything on it because that gets used up real fast. If you
all of my
take one
family
picture, it's
has
all gone.
8 GB phones. So
Oh,
they're
jeez.
Yeah.
scooting
My old
through
my
their,
old
storage.
my old Galaxy S5 was I think 32, and all I did was I just got an expansion card, put it in there, and moved apps to the SD card, and
Nice.
then my phone was free of space again. That was the beauty of that phone.
Yeah.
Mark, can you
I-
put an SD card in your phone?
No.
On an iPhone.
And I don't know that you can do that anymore with even high end Android phones. There's not
Yeah, I
like
have
the
one in
Pixel
my
line.
9.
Yeah.
The Pixel line you can't. There's no external storage. They just want you to move everything to Google Drive. And then look
Yeah,
how
it
much
seems
space you
like-
have on your phone.
It seems like the choice though is either phones are coming out with dual SIM slots, or they're doing single SIM and then a micro SD slot. Because they're about the same size, so I feel like it doesn't, in terms of form factor, it's just a decision of what's more valuable to them, and a lot of companies are going with dual SIM.
Dual SIM. Did you ever play The
Yeah.
Sims?
Oh, did I ever play Sims? Is that a real question?
Yeah.
I tried it.
Oh, I played so much Sims. On
So much Sims.
my 1 year anniversary trip with Lori, we rented a cabin.
My
and she got really sick, so we played Sims for 36 hours
You
straight.
got really
Oh
sick.
crap!
It was insane.
That is insane.
Yeah, she got,
Two-person Sims?
violently ill. No, we just watched each other. We took turns every hour. We'd have a timer.
Aside from being sick, that sounds kind of great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Had the AC pumping in the summer. It was in Traverse City. Like nature. We went out there for nature, and we were not feeling it.
Oh.
Wow. I remember the first time I played The Sims. Like I didn't know how to play it, and I set it up. I put it on a laptop at home, and I set it up, and I'm like, oh, I got my guy a job, and he was like in the military and all sorts of things. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to work and I'll leave it alone. He'll just figure
Oh
things out.
no!
I came home, the house was on fire. He was like dead on the front lawn. I don't know what happened. I had to start over.
Classic.
I have laughed hysterically hard for like an hour.
Yeah, Sims are not very smart.
No.
They can't. It's like Tamagotchi. They can't take care of themselves. They're gonna die.
Yeah.
I could never figure out how to play Tamagotchis. We just always reset them back to life. Because we couldn't figure out how to feed them. There were only 2 or 3 buttons on those devices,
Yeah.
and it didn't come with a manual, at least from what I remember as a kid, because I couldn't read.
It's like being a parent.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't,
just like
don't get me started.
There are totally parenting manuals now.
That's true.
I feel like you can't say that anymore.
on Goop.
Not back in the day when no, I'm not gonna do that.
Do I have the what is this? Yeah.
Oh, what is this?
What is this?
Yahoo Answers user FN2187 asks, what would happen if a car drove over a broken telephone line? I see first responders always being urgent when directing cars into traffic during a fallen telephone pole, but what exactly would happen if we run over the telephone line?
Nothing.
Probably nothing.
But it's also probably not a telephone line that first responders are worried about.
Yeah,
probably
they're worried
power
about the
lines.
Power lines.
Yeah, don't drive over a power line. That would
Yeah.
be bad.
Could be.
Yeah,
Could
it
be
could
bad.
be. That's very fair.
If you have like
Do you-
gas or oil on the outside of your car and
Yeah.
there's a spark, yeah, sure.
I always just thought it was the coolest thing back in the day when the power would go out and the phone line would still work. Like the phone would work.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
that was insane.
Has high voltage.
I was like, is that power over dial-up cable device thing?
Sorta.
Something.
Dial-up cable.
But then when you got like better than a rotary dial phone and it had to use power for like the wireless handsets throughout the house, then you didn't
Mhm.
have a phone because there
Wireless
was no
handsets were
power.
for bougie people or bougie.
Yeah. We had
Yeah.
one. We also had a rotary dial phone at one point. We had both.
Yeah, like an 18-foot
Nice.
cord for the phone, and you're good.
Yeah. Yahoo Answers user Patrick asks, whenever my PC sleeps, it won't wake up and I'm forced to hold down the power button for restart. How do I fix this?
Turn off sleep mode.
Disable sleep mode.
Yeah,
Cody's falling asleep right now. Speaking of sleep.
I do not use sleep mode on any of my computers. These days with SSDs, it's not worth it in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I do it on my laptop. I have it go to sleep, but it wakes right back. All I do
Oh,
is
that's fair.
I touch the power button and it wakes back up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they're a
I
lot
mean-
faster than they were. Like, let's wait
Oh,
5
God.
minutes to wake up from sleep.
Yeah. Sleep
We
made
ha-
sense back in the day, but
Yeah.
Lightning.
We had an intern for the summer, Cody and I did, who I don't know if we ended up ever resolving it or somebody has the computer and is doing this again. But when his computer, just the monitors would turn off, he would walk away. All the computers, they lock and the screens turn off after 15 minutes by group policy because people would try to change it and then it just would be unlocked for all day long, exposing our network. Anyway, so his screens would go blank, and then when he tried to turn his computer back on, move the mouse or something, the mouse would just blink and he'd have to force restart his computer. It would never
God,
come
I
back.
don't remember this.
It was like the
Maybe
last
that's
week that he was there. I was
that
like,
was
I'm
out.
not fixing this for you last week. Just restart it or don't leave your desk, I guess.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
really. Stay there
Who
forever.
has his computer? We're gonna have to check on that.
Not sure.
Hmm.
Yahoo Answers user Micah Cody asks, SD card is apparently in use and unsafe to eject from PC.
Okay.
That will happen sometimes. In all seriousness, you just got to eject it. Pull that out before you get a baby.
What?
A little SD card, baby.
You were
Yeah.
so naughty.
Let's go on to the topic of did you know? Nope, I'm getting off topic. Never mind. It wasn't IT related.
It used to be a thing though. It was like an actual thing. If you were to unplug, it could corrupt the data on there. But I feel like that hasn't happened to me in like, I don't know, 8 years
Yeah.
Yeah.
of dealing with USBs. They're a little bit different than they used to be. So
Well, Windows, I think it was Windows 7 implemented that weird USB flash memory thing where you could plug in a flash drive to your computer and it would use it as additional RAM. And
Yeah.
obviously in that scenario, if you're using your computer and it's being used as RAM, which is really slow RAM, it's going to break something. I mean, there's
Wasn't
nothing you can do.
Wasn't that called Ready Boost?
I think
I wanna
so.
say?
And I mean, it made sense at the
Yeah.
time, I think, because
did it though?
like RAM, the RAM market was monopolized and it was really, really expensive. So everyone's like, "Oh, let's go get a $12 flash drive, plug it in. It'll speed up my computer for about 3 months. The flash drive would die, and you'd get a new one."
Mhm.
Sounds good. It's a good deal.
The best deal.
The last Yahoo Answers question that I have, and then you should be thinking about what you fuck with this week. User Jen asks, I am trying to connect my TV to the internet, and it's asking for a WPA passphrase. Supposedly it's on the modem, but there are 5 sets of numbers or numbers and letter combinations there. Can someone tell me what it should say or look like?
It's the password that you use to connect to Wi-Fi.
Your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Or
I mean-
or she needs to unmute the TV. Either one.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Also, definitely connect with Ethernet. Don't connect. I hate connecting
yeah.
TV over Wi-Fi. The one up in our bedroom, because I don't want to run Ethernet all the way up there through like the walls or whatever, is Wi-Fi, and it's generally okay. But there's not a whole lot of devices other than our cell phones that are on Wi-Fi. Everything else that I can get, like these 2 computers that I'm on, are connected through Ethernet, and generally will have a device or 2. Like our TV in the living room is on Ethernet. It's just a better connection. So.
Yeah, I wish I could.
If
do
you
Ethernet.
can.
I could. It'd just be ugly.
Like Jen's office. Hey.
Oh, cut that, please.
Nope. Not doing it.
You could do Ethernet over power, right? Over the power outlets. I've never tried it, but I know you can. do
Yeah,
that.
I don't think it's
I haven't
gonna
either.
be the greatest connection depending on how the house is wired up. Like if I were to plug in that Ethernet power jack to this house, I'd probably get 56 kilobytes per second speed.
Kilobits.
Kilobits. Is that what it was
Hey,
back in the day?
yeah.
Too.
I
Sounds
mean,
like
yeah.
Is that Cody's rap name? Kilobits.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know though. Bits can be
CT
a
kilobits.
euphemism for something else. Like I'm gonna kill you bits.
Cody K. Kilobits.
It's my stripper name.
With a
Kilobits.
K and a Z at the end, right? Kilobit.
So what do I fuck with this week? I fuck with going to Idaho/Washington. That's what I'll
Yeah,
be doing on
okay.
Friday.
Ooh.
That's intense.
I definitely am not doing anything inappropriate to be able to have much cheaper overnight parking at the airport.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get towed? I'm confused.
No,
He's getting driven there.
just
no.
doing a special hack to get cheaper parking at the airport.
Nice.
I really don't know what you're doing.
Well, I'll tell
Parking
you offline. And so I'm doing that. I'm gonna do. I don't remember the schedule of things.
It's a lot.
Jay. It's gonna be so hard to remember what names to use. Anyway, so Jay has said we're gonna do a Drunken Arcanauts episode. Well, like series. They record for like 3 hours or something, and that's 3 parts of a series. So 3 episodes. We'll do that this weekend. We'll record Help Desk Nightmares. I'll figure out what day we're doing that, so you guys can be on that if you want, and on Skype as usual. Hopefully they have capability to use Skype. And then, so we're doing ours, doing Drunken, and we're doing Halfway to Thundertown. And on that one, we're doing, it's technically a chatter day, but we're also doing, let's see, when will this be out? This will be out after we do that. So the live stream will have happened. We're going to talk about Ruby Ridge, which is in Idaho. It was in Idaho in the early 90s.
What
So
happened
that's
to
fun.
it?
What happened there? It was like it was
you said
the
it
year
was.
before. It was the year before the Waco. David
wow.
Koresh and the Branch Davidians, and they all got burned up in their compound. So it was sort of like that, except it was just a one family that the feds, like hundreds of feds, descended on this mountaintop because they
Cult.
were separatists and they thought they were white nationalists, and they ended up
Damn.
wreaking havoc in this little town. So there you go. That's what we'll talk about.
Sweet.
Sounds intense.
Cody, what do you fuck with this week?
I have to mow my lawn. I haven't mowed it in 5 weeks.
Whoa.
You should
For
hire a
some reason,
service.
It's growing very slowly, but there's a small tree that's growing in it now. So I need to chop that down first, and then I can mow it.
Chubby people
Chop
own
it down.
lawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, chop it down with some scissors.
Can you even bring a mower up high enough to do 5 weeks ago? He's gonna be out there with like a
it's actually
seat.
not that tall.
It's all
I'm
dirt.
blown away because I usually have to mow maybe once a week at a minimum.
Mhm.
and I haven't had to mow. I don't know if it's because the world was like, hey, I know you're going to be moving stuff at work and you're going to be really busy, but it just stopped growing other than that tree.
I don't
It's
think
so
that's
tall.
true.
The tree is the tree's probably 2.5 feet tall.
Damn.
But it's like a pencil thickness, so it'll be okay.
Oh, you're gonna go. You were making sound effects earlier.
Yeah, that's good.
Dave, what about you? What do you
Yeah.
fuck with this week?
Well, this weekend I'm going to see the Who. concert.
Oh,
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Seeing the Who.
Yeah. Seeing Who? Yeah, no, a couple of friends of mine were going to. It's an outdoor venue. It's going to be really cool. So weather should be like in the mid 70s. It's going to be perfect. So
Forgive- Are the Who alive?
I hope so. They're doing a concert.
they're,
Very
they're
interesting
doing.
concert.
Pete
Yeah.
Townsend and Roger Daltrey are.
Did you
Yeah.
know that the band is not called the Eagles? It's called Eagles.
Oh.
Eagles, yeah. Yeah, Eagles. Yeah,
Isn't that
it's
weird?
not the Eagles.
I didn't know that. I don't really know.
Eagles.com is their website. Not
So if I type in
Eagles.com.
who.com, will that bring me to the who.com?
I don't know. Should try it.
I don't know. Never tried
I'm
that.
just going to go and see who.
They're
No.
also going to be they're no. They're also going to have an orchestra with them for certain songs. So
Oh,
that should
nice.
be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. I'll try to take some video and maybe share it.
Post
We'll
the
see.
whole thing on your Instagram story, beginning to
The
end.
whole thing.
It'll be hours worth of stories that people
Several
have to
hours.
swipe through.
And then it'll go away 48 hours later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be 24 hours. AJ,
I've been listening to technology podcasts, trying
unlike
to,
Cody,
Ouch.
getting ready for AJ's special time.
Definitely not. But
Special time.
so I've been listening to This Week in Tech and The
That's a good one.
Verge and Polygon, which I guess is mostly about video games. But well, like, which ones? What do you, if you guys were gonna recommend one and maybe also thumbs down one, what would each of you say?
Ooh.
I like This Week in Tech.
Yeah.
I don't listen to it anymore,
it's
but I
really
like that. And I get a lot of our. Oh, well, don't go look at The Verge every week because I use like 5 different websites to try to pull stories for the Wait, Don't Tell Me game, but The Verge is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
listened to Darknet Diaries, which is a tech one, but it talks about famous hacks that went on or data breaches, stuff like that. That I love that one.
That
That's
sounds
really good.
interesting.
Oh, it's really cool. What else? I'm looking at pull my phone up. Oh, there's one called Help Desk Nightmares. I think that one's really good.
The help desk
I don't
hates
know.
you. You can't visit
Help
the
desk-
help.
yeah.
You can't visit helpdesknightmares.com still though. So.
I'm gonna go buy that domain.
Oh yeah. So last week we talked about only for the patrons why the website was taken down. So if you're a patron, you can know that story. If you're not, then you don't get that. I didn't release that on the main feed, mostly because I released the episode super late. So that was for the patrons who were supposed to get it earlier than everyone. There you go. The like 3
There you go.
patrons, 2 of whom are on this podcast.
What if
I don't
someone
listen
that
to any tech podcasts, so
Yeah, This Week in Tech. I think I've listened to a few of those. What else?
he's been around forever?
Yeah.
I'm more of for tech. I'm more of YouTube, and I know Mark hates YouTube, but I'll put a YouTube video up and listen to that as opposed to download a podcast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
to get like
That's weird.
updated information, to get like news.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yep, it's just there's so many different
Oh yeah.
YouTubers, excuse me, that do technology these days.
Does anyone?
And
Yeah,
I-
I guess that makes sense now that you say that. But does anyone stand out to you off the top of your head? Is that mostly is it news or like product reviews or?
It's a little bit of everything. So the one I used to watch a lot was called Linus Tech Tips, but I've recently kind of moved away from his because he got so big. Anytime any podcasters or even YouTubers get big enough, it definitely loses some of its charm and its quality because you can tell it's more profit based.
Yeah.
So I don't listen to that one anymore. So now I just use
Sell
my
out.
YouTube recommended,
Oh.
which is probably the worst thing in the world, and it just recommends videos to me, and I watch a bunch of different stuff. So I know that doesn't help you at all, other than if
Just
you
look
wanna
at
borrow my
Cody's
phone.
YouTube recommended.
Yeah, I can give you
Perfect.
my account login. You can go into it and do
It's
whatever
his
you want.
full name, so
Mhm. It is. Surprise. The trick is spelling it correctly.
I think I bought the domain markedwardswastaken.com because
No way.
there's a lady
That's
there's a
funny.
lady comedian who's I stole it from her. Her website is Nicole Byers was taken. No, Byer.
That's
Nicole
funny.
Byer was taken.com because some other lady, Nicole Byer, took NicoleByer.com. So
That's pretty funny.
What are you using your
like that.
domain for?
anything I want.
Yeah, I mean,
How much is this costing
Mr.
us?
Hanakna has a cool domain.
Yeah, knocknaw.com.
Yeah,
Or
it's
visit-
just his name.
I mean, that's not his name, so.
What does
That
he use it
is.
for?
Let's see. Where does it route right now? It routes to basically a portfolio.
Oh, is it accessible, like public?
Yeah,
What's a
That's probably
portfolio?
it
Alright.
says what his last name is. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Oops.
He's the one who put it on the public internet. He has a blog.
What's he write about?
What?
Technology.
Oh, maybe I'll read his blog.
There was a podcast I heard about called Accidental Tech, I think.
Huh.
I remember hearing someone mention it, and I always meant to go check it out and download a couple to check it out. They said it was supposed to be really good. It was like a high-rated one, so that might
I'll
be another
check
good
that
one.
out.
I might try that out this week. Yeah. On the way to the Who.
I got to load up on stuff that I can consume as far as media goes
yeah.
because my podcasts are getting caught up. I've listened to almost all of the Potterless episodes. They don't have a lot of extra ones. Hopefully I get some between now and Friday so that I have something to listen to on the plane because I'm not flying first class this time.
Ooh.
That's insane that you're almost finished with that. They're
Yeah.
so long.
Well, I've been listening for a real long time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows. We were pulling into the parking lot of a restaurant and received like a 15-minute.
that's not true.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Wow.
Potter
It was a couple
information we didn't need.
A couple minutes of Harry Potter information. I don't remember how it came up.
That's awesome. Lori started listening to it with me.
My wife.
Mm-hmm. It just
Cool.
needs to get a little bit cooler out, and then we'll watch all of them. We'll binge them over a weekend.
What? Why does the temperature
Potter.
outside have anything to do with that?
Because the temperature inside my house is 83 degrees right now. And that's disgusting. Because I
Yeah.
took out all the air conditioners thinking it was fall.
That was a mistake.
It was the biggest mistake.
You've been listening to Help Desk Nightmares on the Halfway Network. Help Desk Nightmares is created by Mark E., Cody T. with Dave G. It is edited by Mark. It is produced by Mark, as well as our patrons, Austin, AJ, and Cayman. If you like the show, for others like it, check out halfwaynetwork.com. Leave us a review on iTunes so other people can find the show. Follow us on Instagram at Help Desk Nightmares. To become a patron, visit patreon.com/helpdesknightmares, or for show notes and links,
There's nothing
visit
you can do.
helpdesknightmares.com. There's nothing you can do for show notes and links.
Yeah.